everybody to this live session. Um, I'll be waiting a brief for my guest today, which is Kenny Global Adekunle Kende. Um, that was 2 Fridays ago now. We had a session that we were talking about the concept of wealth, and we'll be building on it today. We'll be talking about the 7 dimensions of wealth. So that is what we'll be talking about today. I'm going to give us a brief recap on our previous discussion on wealth, which we talked about the concept of wealth. The concept of wealth in the sense that wealth is not just the material thing. Wealth are not just the things that you see. They they are the appearance. Those things that you see, the Bugatti, the Rolex, the Rolls Royce, the Ferrari, and everything, they are the appearance of wealth. Just like when you plant a tree and you do not see the roots, you do not see the roots, but then the the stump of the tree, the leaves of the tree, especially the fruit of the tree, especially the fruit of the tree is very, very visible to you, and you can see the fruit of the tree clearly. As a matter of fact, you name a tree by its fruits. Every tree you see today, you name them by their fruits. If you see a cashew, you say this is a cashew tree. If you
Yo,
see a mango, you say this is a mango tree. If you see an apple, you say this is an apple tree. So those are the things that we are trying to discuss. Like I said before my guest came in, which I'm going to allow him speak now. I said that wealth, the things that you see, the things that you know, the Bugatti, the Ferrari, the Rolex, Rolls Royce, and everything are the appearance of wealth. They are not the real wealth in themselves, but they are the appearance of it. They are just like the fruits of the original wealth. Why the original wealth is hidden, it is not seen, it is inside of you, it is rooted in you. So those were the things that we discussed, and then we discussed the 4 things you are to do. I remember what you are capable of, what you can do, what you can do in the future, and many other things that we discussed in that live session. All right, so without wasting our time, I'm going to allow my guest also to introduce himself again because I've done that even before he came in. But then, of course, Adekunle, please introduce yourself. You're welcome. I think his network is bad. Yeah, please, can you hear me? Adekunle Global. All right, we are going to move on as, of course, people are watching us. So when his network is back, we will move on. So if you can still hear me, please kindly just speak up. All right. So I was talking about the dimensions of wealth. What we want to talk about today. Okay,
yeah,
he's back.
sorry, I'm having a bit of network issues here.
Okay, I understand. Yeah, so I
Can you
just
see
want
my
you
video? Can
to,
you hear my voice?
yeah, I can hear you. I just want to you to introduce yourself very
Okay, I
briefly.
can't see your video though. I can't see your video.
Don't worry, just continue. I'm seeing yours. Because of our time. That should be.
And what do you say?
Just continue. I want you to introduce yourself for the sake of the people that are
All right, no
watching us for
problem.
the first
So
time.
yeah, welcome everyone. Yes, good day, good evening, good morning, good afternoon, from wherever you're joining in the part of the world, and welcome to today's live session. So I am Samuel. I'm known as the Global Adekunle. Yes, and I'm a wealth specialist. I I have talks or I talk on subjects of wealth, on real estate, on personal development. So yes,
All
okay.
right.
So today we'll be discussing on a very important subject, and it's um, on wealth. On wealth. So we want to know the seven foundations of true wealth, the seven foundations of true wealth, or what true wealth really mean. So, first of all, before going to what the seven, our time today might not allow us to go through the seven to explain
Of
it better,
course.
but then I'll try to just shrink everything into either 30 or 45 minutes. So yes, to the secular people, to many people, they believe that wealth is just getting money, having what it takes to buy anything. When you want to purchase a phone,
All right. I think his network just went bad. So I'm going to continue from where the network went bad for him. And what he was trying to say is that, many people used to think, like I said, even in the introduction, that many people used to think that what wealth is all about is the Bugatti, the Ferrari, the wristwatches, the Rolex, the Rolls Royce that you see. But then it is more than that. All those things are products. All those things are products, but there is something that buy those products. And it is just, for instance, if you want to buy a wristwatch now, if you want to buy a wristwatch, you will have to use money. Yeah, let's use money in this sense. You will have to use money to get those products. If you are trying to get a product, you have to use money. But then, if you are trying to get money, what do you use? What do you use to get money? So
hello,
those are
sorry,
the
my network
things.
is really bad here.
All right, I'm
My
feeling in
network
for
here
you.
is really bad. Probably at some point you just have to stop because this network here is
Sure.
really frustrating.
All right.
Can you see my video?
Yeah, yeah, I can hear you. Continue.
All right, okay, good. So yes, true wealth is way more than just buying something to satisfy your needs or your wants or your hunger or anything or to satisfy someone else. True wealth is way, way more than that. So we'll be discussing on what true wealth is. True wealth is first of all um what we call faith in God. First, it is faith in God. So if your wealth is not based on faith, have isn't wealth. That's it. I dare say that if your wealth isn't based on faith in God, if the foundation of your wealth isn't faith in God, it is not true wealth. You may have wealth, but not true wealth. If it is not based on the faith in God, it's just as simple as that. If the wealth that you have is not in faith in God, what you have isn't true wealth. What we are discussing today is true wealth, not just wealth. It is true wealth. So if what you have is not based in faith in God, it's not true wealth. And what's faith in God? Faith in God means that you are whatever or the means that you are getting your wealth isn't through some dubious or illegal or
All right. I believe his network just went back again. So what he was trying to say is that true wealth comes from God. Because of course, the one who created the heavens and the earth, the one who created the stars that you see at night, the one who created the moon. And of recent, I heard that they have not even explored the surface of the moon. I mean, the sea. Like they have explored the surface of the moon. So the person that created all those things, you should know that he definitely has what it takes to give you true wealth. you should know that he is one that has every single thing in
Hello, I can't hear
abundance.
what you are saying over there. Are you still there?
I can hear you. I can hear you.
Okay, okay. So I think I'll just have to give a quick rundown of it because the network here.
All right.
So probably can just expand more on it. But let me give a
Okay.
quick rundown on it so that the network won't be an issue. So the first is faith in God. Secondly, we have strategic relationships. That's the next pillar of true wealth, strategic relationships. The first is faith in God, the second is strategic relationships. Then we have the third, which is material possessions. So you see that material possessions is part of true wealth. After material possession, money is what material possession mean. Having cars, having land, having things that going places, traveling out for to just have your own fun time. That's material possession. Then there is money, which is cash. So money or cash is part of true wealth. It is not true wealth. Do you understand? It is part of true wealth. It is not true wealth. Then next is the experiences of life. We have the experiences of life. That's why you see that someone or a man that's, let's say, 60
Oh, this network. Network is causing a lot today. Um, all right. So he has mentioned the one, two, three, four, five. Five out of the seven dimensions of true wealth. So once he comes back now, he's just going to add the remaining two. Then I will take it up from there because his network is really, really bad. So let us start now. When we talk about true wealth, the first thing that my guest mentioned is faith in God. You see, there are many people that do not have, let me call it, material resources. What they have are not tangible, they are not things that you can hold in your hands. But when you see their life, you can tell that, oh, this person has a kind of peace that is not common. This person has a kind of joy that is not because of the money he has or lacks. This person has a kind of confidence that you cannot just get anywhere. You see, there's a confidence when there is money in your pocket, there is money in your account, you check your account and you see that of course you can still afford some things, of course you can still do some things conveniently. Is a kind of um there's a kind of confidence that comes from that. But faith in God truly is a form of wealth. It's a form of wealth that cannot be bought with money, that cannot be bought anywhere. The only person that can give you that is God Himself, which is through the person of Jesus Christ. And that is why we are bringing that one as the foundation and as the first thing that you need to know concerning this wealth that we are talking about. Also, the second one, which is a very, very strong point, is strategic relationship. It is not everybody that you can relate with, but you will agree with me that every single thing that you achieve in life always come through relationship. For instance, the knowledge you have today comes through your relationship with either your lecturer, your teacher, or your relationship with your phone, maybe on your YouTube, online, you read books, even your relationship with your books. That is the way wealth comes. And you may ask that, how does wealth come? Through relationship. Now let me give you an example. I know of a man that he was looking for job. He finished school and he was looking for job everywhere. He could not get jobs. He was applying up and down and he could not get it.
But something happened. Because of his surname, he went to apply in a company, and because that the person that owns that kind of surname, that has that kind of surname, is working as one of the directors of the company, he eventually got that job. And the people that helped him, like, they kept pushing his name forward because they thought that he is related by blood to the director of the company. That was how they gave him the job. And he later found out this thing. I don't have the time to tell you how he found out about it. But what I'm trying to say is that because of his relationship with that name, because he bears the same name as that person, he already automatically had that job. And that is to tell you that every single thing, even as an employee, even as an employer, you are relating with your workers, or you are relating with your employer. So every single thing, almost everything, even if God will help you, he will have to come through a human being. It will have to come through your relationship with someone. It will have to come. So that is one of the dimensions of true wealth that is very, very powerful. You cannot neglect it in anything you do in this life. And then the third one that they mention is material possession, which is true. You can see this wristwatch is a material possession. Look at this cap, is a material possession. This my pen here is a material possession. And someone will look at me and will say, oh, this person is wealthy. Now, I want to explain to you that wealth is not only about having expensive things. It's not only about having, because you may be depressed if, let's say, your age mate is driving several type of cars and you are just having just one car, and you are wondering that you are not wealthy, you are not this, you are not that. No, that is not what we are saying here. True wealth truly is from material possession, and that was why we mentioned it, that there are seven dimensions of it. So it will be okay, and it will be very good for you to have these seven all together. And of course, I'll be making a series on my Spotify podcast on Unfiltered Beloved concerning this in the coming days. I have those lists that I'll be listening every Wednesday every week. So what I'm saying is that your material possession, the things that you have in abundance materially, even the things that you can count, the things that you know that, oh, this thing I am the owner, it is also a form of wealth. It is also a form of wealth. Do not neglect it. Of course, you can do more. There is room to do more. There is room to achieve many other things. But then that is also a form of true wealth. And then another one that he mentioned, he said money or cash. Of course, when you have money in your hand, when you have money in your pockets, of course, you will definitely want to say that, oh, I also have this, or this is with me. Of course, there's a kind of confidence that come with you having money in your bank account. If I'm lying, just say yes. But if you know that this is true, just say I agree in the comment section, because you can definitely say that, oh, I have the ability, I have the capacity to get things done. I have the ability, I have like, you are just happy that you can afford some things because there is money in your pocket, or there is money in your bank account, or there is an investment somewhere, or there is a cash stored up somewhere. So it brings security, it brings confidence that you can do this. So it is also a form of wealth because you have it in abundance. Because you have it in abundance. And the last one he mentioned, before I bring him up again, he said the experiences of life. The experiences of life. We used to say something that someone has of experience, that someone has wealth of experience simply means that he has experienced many things in life in abundance. So I'm currently on the fifth point, which is the experiences of life. I would like that you pinpoint the remaining two, so that in case your network goes again, I will just continue from there.
All right. Thank you. Yes. For the last two, we have thought.
I can't hear your voice.
Can you hear my voice now?
Yes, yes,
All right, so I was saying that a man of 80 years old is obviously way more experienced than a man of 20 years old.
of
So he
course.
has the wealth of experiences. He has the wealth of experiences. So knowledge and skill, knowledge and skill, knowledge and
That's the sixth one, right?
yes, that's the system. Knowledge and skill. When you have knowledge of something, and it's everywhere that people know that a man that knows will a man that knows will always rule over the man that doesn't know. And one thing that I learned so far is that having knowledge makes you
All right, it just had a network issue again, and I'm going to dwell more on this knowledge and skill issue. You see, in everything you pursue in this life, pursue knowledge. In every single thing you pursue in this life, make sure that knowledge, and in a bracket, I'm going to say that for your notes, you should write wisdom and understanding. It is very important that you pursue knowledge. It is very important that you seek for knowledge. You dare to learn things that you do not know. There's an adage that says that if you keep a secret between a book and you give it to an African man, he will never read it. You see, that shows that many people does not read books these days. They do not even care to study what they do not know. They do not even care to learn about what they do not know. See, you will only amount to much as far as your knowledge is. Your knowledge level will determine your wealth level, will determine where you can get to in life. So your knowledge is very, very important in any field of study, that you are a content creator, graphic designer, or whatever skill that you have. If you have skill without knowledge in it, it's still not balanced. And if you have knowledge without the skill to execute it, it is still not balanced. So the two has to go hand in hand. As much as possible, you are consuming knowledge every single time. That is to show that you are in the know. You always know. They cannot wake me up now, even in the middle of the night, and tell me that I should come and speak, and it's not possible for me not to see something to say, because every single time I'm always learning. So learning is a form of knowledge acquisition. You are gathering knowledge concerning the things, and you don't just eat knowledge here and there. You have to have a strategy that you follow, the way you get your knowledge, the way you walk through it, and those things. So the other one that he mentioned is skill. Skill is a very, very important thing, and I must tell you for a fact that skill has helped me achieve like a lot in this life. Skill is very, very important. Skill, you need to have a skill. And what does skill mean? It is something that you can do either with your brain, with your hands, with your leg, or with your body. That is skill. And you need to move a little step higher. You don't just pursue skill, but then you pursue competence and diligence in that skill. Now when I talk about competence means that this thing that you are doing, you can do it. Like you can do it excellently well. I've mentioned another word now, which is excellence. Is that if like nobody can do it better than you. I heard the story of I think it's Angelo now, Michelangelo, which when he was painting, he was making a painting in a Catholic cathedral, and he was making it in a very, very dark place that there was no light that time, and his team members were calling him, Michael, 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 where are you? And then he answered with this painting brush in his mouth, and he put it in his mouth just this way. And then he said, yes, I'm here. How? So they asked him, what are you doing there that nobody will see what you are painting there? And his response surprises me. He said, God sees it even if no man saw it. That is the truth of life. So if your confidence, if you build competence to an extent, you will show it to, it will be very obvious that, oh, this one knows what he's doing, is excellent in what he's doing. So that is the thing. And he has talked about knowledge and skills and all those things. So we are going to be rounding up now, because by next week, by God's grace, we are going to be talking about some other things. That so just subscribe to this channel and you'll be carried along. Thank you very much.